Hey everybody, we're here today with Maria Hall. We're at the Animal Friends Alliance, and she's going to give us a tour of here. They're focused on cats just as much as dogs, so be prepared for that. We're going to be showing a lot of cute cats and kittens as well. So Maria, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what the Animal Alliance does?
Yeah, so my name is Maria. I'm the Director of Shelter Services. I've been with the organization for around 13 years now. I work primarily here at our Taft Hill campus, kind of overseeing adoptions and our foster program and our medical cases and behavior for our animals here. We do adoptions out of this building, and we also have another adoption location in Westminster, Colorado, and an everyday adoption center in PetSmart, where we have cats and dogs available for adoption as well. And then we have our Mulberry location over on Mulberry and Timberline, where we offer public services. So we do low-cost spay neuter and vaccine services for the public. And super exciting, in October, we are actually opening a low-cost veterinary clinic where we will be able to do expanded services beyond just that spay and neuter and vaccines. So that's super exciting. It's definitely a service that is needed around here. So we try to kind of hit it in all directions, where we've got, animals for adoption, but our goal is to keep animals in their homes. If somebody's got a animal that they love, we want to do everything that we can to support them keeping that pet. And so that's why we offer our public services as well as just adoptions through here. We get our animals from all over the place. We take owner surrenders, we take transfers from in-state and out-of-state. We're a limited admission adoption guarantee shelter, so there's no time limit on an animal, how long an animal can stay with us for adoption. But we and they can stay with us, until they find their loving home.
Yeah, and we already visited your other part of your campus.
Yeah.
What exactly goes on over there versus here?
Yeah, so that's where we have all of our public services. It's just because that's like a more accessible location for people. We used to have our cat shelter over there, and then this building got built, and we moved all of our adoptions to one location, which was really great. But right now, all of our spay neuter services are over there. That's where we'll have our low-cost veterinary clinic here opening in October. We also have our public services, such as a kibble supply program. So that's where we have, if folks are struggling to feed their pets, we'll give them free kibble. And then we have our Prevent a Litter Plus program. So if the prices for spay neuter of their pet is a burden to anybody, we do offer discounted or free spay and neuter to those folks with proof of need. And that program is based out of that facility as well. So we just want to help people to keep their pets and not increase the pet overpopulation problem as well.
That is
So,
true, yeah. The spay and neutering is one of the best advice to give to people.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And all of our pets are spayed and neutered before they go home. It's required here by the state of Colorado. So everybody who leaves our shelter is spayed, neutered, vaccinated, microchipped. Dogs are tested for heartworm. Cats are tested for feline leukemia. So
amazing.
Kind of getting on.
Okay, well, we'd love to check out your facility. Would you mind showing it to us?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where would you like to start?
So we'll show you guys the cat colony rooms first.
Okay.
That is through here. So this was one of the big things when we moved our facility from the Mulberry campus that we were able to do. Our cats they were no longer having to be in the kennels in the adoption area. So we were able to make these colony rooms so that the cats can have a lot more space. Folks are able to just go in and spend time with the cats, and then they can decide whether they want to adopt them. We have a lot of really great ones right now. A lot of sweet cats.
Now, it's called a colony room. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, so we will have, for example, might be one litter in the room, and then we have, another cat that's maybe the same age, or we think would get along personality-wise with those cats. So we will mix them and make them friends, so that way they can get that social experience with them. And then it also helps us to help more cats, and usually they enjoy playing with their friends.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I know that we mainly specialize in shedding light on the dog rescue
Yeah.
community, but we care about all animals, horses.
Yeah.
We were just up in Frisco and they were talking about how they'll take rabbits in and things like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
So we noticed on y'all's history that you combined your cat services with your dogs.
Yes.
How did that make y'all better as a shelter in the community? How did that benefit?
Yeah, well, so we worked really closely with Animal House Rescue and Grooming when we were Fort Collins Cat Rescue, and combining that into becoming Animal Friends Alliance in 2020 was really great. We have a lot of the same supporters. We would get people all the time over at the cat shelter who'd be like, hey, where are your dogs at? And vice versa. So being able to kind of combine that supporter pool and adopter pool into one name, one organization. There were a lot of people that trust Animal Friends Alliance or Animal House, and there are a lot of people that trust Fort Collins Cat Rescue. So putting that all together was really able to help us to support more animals, both here in the community and with our partners.
That's
so
great.
it was really great. On the transfer into things, we had a lot of partners that we worked with for cats that we were then able to help with their dogs too, and vice versa. So a lot of really great cats right now. Hopefully we can see some of them. So one thing that we do that's pretty unique here is that we treat cats for ringworm,
Okay.
which is a treatable fungus that cats are just very prone to.
Right.
A lot of other shelters, it's a euthanasia decision when those cats pop up with ringworm. So you can see them kind of through here. We have, hopefully there's some of them might be out and about, but we will treat these guys. It's an intensive process. It takes 6 to 8 weeks. They get baths twice a week and an antifungal bath. They get medication. We usually treat around 300 to 400 of these guys a year.
Wow.
Because they're all really adoptable. It's most common in kittens.
Yeah.
So it's like once they're done with that, then they're easy to adopt out, and people love them, finding homes, especially after their kittens had a bath for, twice a week for the first 6 to 8 weeks of its life. They're super friendly then.
Yeah, so this would be like your quarantine room.
Yeah, so these are the guys that have ringworm, and we have a separate isolation ward inside of there for cats that are sick and have ringworm. Almost all kittens, and then this room kind of goes in a U shape, and there's a catio on the other side, and right before they clear, they get to go in this big catio, and it has like hammocks hanging up,
wow.
and the cats are super happy to be in there and get to run around, because that's a long time in a kennel for any cat. But when we think of what the alternative would be, it's worth it.
Yeah.
So we had this ward put in for that purpose. So
how many cats do you have here at any given time?
Oh, in the summer we can definitely have like up to 80, potentially more, depending on how the litters are put together. Just how many we have at the time. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do y'all offer like a catch and release kind of program?
So we do have a trap rental program, and we encourage people to do that for sure. And then we have special barn cat package at our clinic over at Mulberry, so it's even more cost effective to get those guys spayed and neutered, and then have them stop participating in the pet overpopulation problem. And so that's been really, really helpful for sure to have them.
That's great. And have you noticed an impact on the community because of that?
Definitely. I think that us offering that spay neuter service in general has helped. We still see, I think the most common thing that we get from our community here locally is kittens that are born outside. We don't really have like a stray dog problem here. It's mostly cats and kittens, feral cats who are giving birth to kittens outside. And so we actually have our community cat program internally, where we have a full-time staff member whose job it is to go out and go to these specific colonies where people are like, I've got 40 cats out here, and he will help them trap all those cats. We will fix them. If they have kittens who are young enough to be socialized and adopted, we'll take them into our program. And so basically we're trying to kind of stop almost turn off the faucet for these guys is my reference, to make that flow of kittens stop, because it's not going to help if you just go out and take the kittens. You have to spay and neuter all the adults. So
I've talked to people before that think of spaying and neutering as like a disservice to the animals. What would you like to tell our viewers as far as how big of a difference spaying and neutering can have to the overpopulation of cats and dogs in the community?
Oh, totally. I mean, just because if an animal is born outside, like typically these kittens that we see that come from our community outside, they are sick. They don't have very good immune systems. We see many of them in like pretty critical condition. So there is some suffering with not spaying and neutering these adult cats that are out there reproducing. And then also tomcats who are not neutered, they get in fights. We see like those are our most common cats that we see covered in wounds and abscesses, and they're more likely to wander and get hit by cars. The other thing, those guys are prone to feline leukemia and FIV. Taking away, neutering those animals and spaying them reduces their desire to roam out of the area. They don't get in as many fights. They're more likely to live a longer life, even outdoors. And then the kittens, like I said, I mean, there is definite suffering for those kittens that are born outdoors. It's not that they just grow up and it's, you know, unicorns and rainbows.
Yeah.
You know, we see them where they come in and their eyes are so infected that we have to do a removal, you know, things like that. And, you know, or they're so sick with a respiratory infection that, you know, that we do everything we can medically for them, and sometimes it's not enough. I would definitely say those are some of our sickest cats that we get. Okay. So spaying and neutering is so important to that overpopulation problem. Like we've worked with some colonies where there's 40 some cats, and if we didn't spay and neuter, those numbers would be astronomical out there.
Especially with cats, because they reproduce pretty quickly.
Oh yes, they do. Yeah. So we end up seeing quite a few of them, and we, you know, we want to help as much as we can, but our space is limited because, like I mentioned, you know, we're not, you know, we don't euthanize for space or anything like that. So we only take in as many animals as we have room for. And so, you know, the more that we have here in our care, the less that we can help that have literally no other option. So, yeah.
Now, one question we get a lot, and it's mainly for dogs, but for cats as well, is when is the ideal time to spay and neuter a pet?
Yeah. So actually here in Colorado, it's for any shelter, we don't release them before adoption without being spayed or neutered. We will spay and neuter them at 8 weeks old and 2 pounds. And, you know, different veterinarians may say different things, but for our purposes and like preventing the pet overpopulation problem, we do it as soon as they are old enough and healthy enough to have that surgery. And like I said, that minimum is 8 weeks old and 2 pounds. And for the majority of, you know, pets in the public, like that's going to be just fine, you know, and we support that, you know, getting them fixed before there can be a problem.
And that's dogs and cats?
Dogs and cats, because, you know, it's one of those things that they could, you know, you could have the best intentions, but oops, like, you know, your child left the front door open, there goes the cat, and then she comes back pregnant. So, you know, it's we've seen accidents happen, and for us, we release them from here. We want to know that they are not going to contribute to that. So,
yeah. And I feel like it can, you know, when you see that, it feels like you're fighting a losing battle sometimes when people don't just spay and neuter their pets.
Yeah. Yeah. They definitely, you know, no matter what, should be getting them fixed before they are of maturity to start having kittens and puppies. That's when accidents can happen.
Agreed. So spay and neuter your pets.
Spay and neuter your pets. This is just our food prep area. We'll go back through to the dog area. This is not our most exciting area.
It's okay. We love to see everything about the behind the scenes.
Yes, this is all where we keep all of our storage. I don't think she's got anything in there. What's today? This is a little echoey. But this is a cool area. This is another service that we do offer in this room here. We have a behavior staff. We have canine behavior veterinarian. She and our canine behavior supervisor, who are certified trainers, will offer discounted training to any dogs that are adopted from us. And we also offer it to the public. And because she's a veterinarian, she can also help with, you know, if they need like behavioral medication or anything like that, to really kind of just get them over the hump of being in a shelter environment or, you know, long-term in a home. So that's really helpful as well. And then we also offer low-cost euthanasia services here. There is another euthanasia service in town that's low cost. However, the owners are not able to be with their pets for that. We do allow that where it's low cost and they can be with their pets when it's their time to go if they're struggling to afford to do that. So we're happy to be able to help with all the services in that way and support our community.
Well, that's a great service. My first dog, I had to euthanize him because he got dementia and was just old, and you know, and it was hard to do, but I was able to be with him, and that makes a huge difference.
Oh, totally. I think I couldn't imagine not being with my pet, and I think that, and that's what most of the cases that we see are, you know, senior animals that are at the end of their life. And it's great that we can help them, you know, pass with dignity and with their owners present. So.
Yeah. Now, while we're on the training subject, you know,
Yeah.
that's one thing that we are trying to focus on is as trainers,
Yeah.
we saw that a lot of people would give up on dogs for very simple behavioral issues. So I'm assuming that this is kind of how y'all are helping out people with that. But
Yep.
what are ways that y'all educate and help with the training of the adopted pets to make sure that they don't come back?
Yes, absolutely. So within a week of adoption, typically we'll email every single one of our adopters. We put a piece of paper in their adoption packet that says, here's our training resources as far as, you know, what we offer. You know, any time within the first 30 days after adoption, we'll do a consult here with our canine behavior supervisor or our canine behavior vet, depending on what they need. It's only $40. You get an hour of time. So that is something we offer, and we send them a reminder that we offer that via email, just in case at the time of adoption everything was really exciting and maybe they didn't see that paper. And then we do also post-adoption calls as well to check in. But really, you know, we're trying to keep these dogs in their home as much as possible. So a lot of that goes into upfront being, you know, when we're making that adoption match, talking about what is going to be working for their home. You know, are they looking for an active pet, or are they looking for something that's more of like couch potato? So trying to match them up with something realistic for their expectation. And then if for some reason it doesn't work out, we do always take our animals back. It doesn't matter if it's 10 years down the road. You know, we're committed to our animals for life. So, you know, we try to offer judgment-free, you know, if that does need to happen, we'd rather the dog come back to us so that we can make sure that they get appropriate placement again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, one thing when I was researching y'all that I like that y'all do is like us, you know, we notice as there's kind of a gap in the rescue community on keeping dogs out.
Yeah.
You know, there's lots of resources for clearing out the shelters and trying to get dogs adopted and cats. Other than the spaying and neutering, what kind of things do y'all do to help keep dogs out of the shelters?
Yeah, totally. So within our programs, we have our kibble supply program. So if somebody's struggling to feed their pet, you know, maybe they lost a job or, you know, they're just going through hard times, we'll provide them with free food. And often we have a lot of donated pet supplies that we can't use for our shelter animals for whatever reason. And we will have all of that out at those events to give them, just give it away to people so that they can have one less expense on their plate to take care of their pets. Like I said, also we offer that discounted behavioral services. You know, if that's a reason why somebody's wanting to surrender their pet, we ask that explicitly on our surrender form. Like, you know, is there anything that we could do to help you keep this pet? Because that's first and foremost what we want. We don't want animals that have somebody that is loving them and committing them to come in, you know, committed to them to come into the shelter. We want to keep them with that person for sure. That's our first and foremost goal. So sometimes, you know, there's on that, you know, surrender form, there's, you know, unfortunately nothing could help us in this situation. Sometimes it is something like I just can't afford dog training, or I can't afford, you know, medical care for this dog. And we're very excited soon that we'll be able to offer that service, you know, to the public as well. You know, like dentals and, you know, treating the dog for an ear infection, we'll be able to offer through our public clinic. And we know that that's a huge need with how expensive veterinary care has gotten these days. So first and foremost, that's important. Whenever we're working with a transfer partner, we always tell them, we're like, you know, we'll tag these dogs for transport, but if that dog, someone's interested, wants to adopt that dog, whatever, let them adopt the dog. We don't want to take a dog that somebody is interested in, and we'll just take a different one instead. So that's kind of how we operate with that sort of thing.
Okay. And just to elaborate on that, what would you say that the top reasons are that people surrender their pets? Three. Let's do three.
Three. Okay.
I'm sure there's a lot.
I would say in general, we see people who, you know, it's just not a good fit for their home for whatever reason. I would say number one is behavioral concerns. Number two is probably conflict with the other pet in the home, be that the dog didn't get along with the cat or the dog didn't get along with the other dog. And then I would say number three, and definitely I would say on the cat side, it's maybe higher up, would be medical concerns that, you know, come up with the animal that the person feels like it's beyond their help, and they want to provide that animal with care, but they just are feeling like they can't. And so you make a really selfless decision to surrender the animal so that it can get care. And in our vision, they would not have to do that with this new clinic. We're really, really hoping
That's
that
great.
we can help to prevent those kinds of surrenders. You know, the cat has a broken leg, and they want to get that treated with us, and we can do it at a reasonable cost for them. Like, please, we want you to keep your cat.
Yeah.
So, yeah. This is our dog adoption floor. Hi, buddy.
Oh my goodness. Oh, look at you. You're so
He's super
handsome.
sweet.
You're
That's
so
Lincoln.
handsome. Hey, Lincoln. I love your color.
And you'll notice here, so we have different kennel card colors for each of our dogs. Green means like they're pretty like good with everything, good with other dogs, friendly with people, not a lot of behavioral concerns. They don't need probably too much training moving forward beyond like just basic behavior type stuff. And then you'll see we have orange dogs. Those guys might be a little bit more shy. They might not walk really well on a leash. And these are all correlated to different volunteer levels. So we have volunteers who are trained to handle orange dogs. We have some that are trained to handle green dogs. And then there's also blue dogs who may be like a little bit more timid, but they're usually still pretty easy to handle. This is a great example of what we do. Miss Shadow, unfortunately, she was adopted from us as a puppy, and she ended up coming back to us. Her owner had medical concerns that she was not able to continue to keep her, and we're really glad that we'll always offer a place for our pets. It wasn't anything that could have been prevented, and she doesn't have no place to go because she came from us. So, and we're getting her comfortable. I believe she's almost ready to be adopted, and so someone looking for a senior girl. She's 12 years old, but we have this dog co-housing with her because she's so great with other dogs. I don't know where this guy's at right now, but he's usually hanging out with her. So, yeah, but she's a good girl. She's just a nice old lady.
I always tell people that work in shelters it takes a special person to be able to do this, because if I was in here, I'd have 50 dogs.
Oh, it's tough sometimes. I honestly want to bring them all home, but I think what helps for us is knowing that there's no time limit. They can stay with us as long as they're happy and healthy, and we'll find them a good fit. And Mr. Starfruit, he's a good boy.
So can you tell us a little bit about this area and what it's used for?
Yeah, so this is where we keep our dogs who are ready for adoption. So they're healthy, they are ready to meet folks. When we go back up front, I can show you, we actually have a whiteboard, and we put all of our dogs who are available on that whiteboard. And the reasoning that we do that is because it's actually less stressful for the dogs than, having a parade of people walking in and out all day.
Mm-hmm.
I tell people, like, imagine if that was like your house and you had someone walking by and looking in your window all day. That might be a little stressful for you.
Yes.
So what we actually encourage people to do is they read the bios about the dogs on our whiteboard, and then we will bring the dog out to a meet and greet yard for them rather than having folks walk in and out. And it really has helped, our adoptions, because a lot of these dogs, they're in a shelter environment. They are what we call barrier reactive. And so once we get them out from behind that barrier, they show so much better, and a lot of times they don't have that behavior in a home environment versus, someone walking by you all day. You're going to probably get a little frustrated and not understand why that keeps happening. So that's kind of what we use this area for, is to hold those adoptable dogs. And then we pull them right off the floor to go meet people in our meet and greet rooms. So yeah, we've got 11 runs on this floor, but we often are co-housing dogs. So you'll see, multiple dogs in each run. Feel free to take a look at any of them.
Do you have any special cases or any cases that stand out right now that you would like to highlight?
Oh boy. Let me take a walk here. Is he going to be in here? No, where's he at? He's a good one. This guy's awesome. He's on adoption hold, actually, so hopefully he's going home today. Oh, I love this guy.
Oh my goodness.
This is our friend Botas.
What a beautiful dog.
He's a good boy.
Are you a red heeler?
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
So he was actually at another local shelter, and we transferred him in. and unfortunately he got a little bit of an upper respiratory infection. Now he's all cleared up from that. But
Like
he's
from kennel
a
costs?
yeah, yep, he's a good boy, and he's been looking for a home now for a little bit. And I think people, as they should, do their research on the breed, and healers are they're not for every single person.
Well, they're
but,
great hiking and mountain biking
oh yes,
dogs.
exactly. We adopt out a lot of herding breed dogs from here because people are looking for that.
Yeah.
I mean, they want to take something that can fit in their Subaru Forester and go up to the mountains.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's a good boy. We've got these little like mini Aussies. They came from one of our partners in New Mexico. They're, I believe, part of a hoarding case. They're a little bit timid, but they are doing really well. They all needed dentistries, so we did dentals on them and got their mouths all happy and cleaned up, and they'll be able to be adopted. Oh yes, here's another one of their. There's
beautiful.
2 more of them: Cash and Flash, Cash, Flash, and Splash.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
So these 3 all came from the same household. But I guess this guy and that guy are not super fans of each other, but these 2 are fine. But yeah, these are good guys. They just have a lot going on. We got all their mouths cleaned up.
Well, it looks amazing in here. Very clean and organized, and
thank you.
It's nice to see.
We really try to keep it.
Is this
yes,
you've
our
had them
coyote
come out
roller.
before?
Oh yeah, if they are escape artists, they get this run.
Wow.
Or we have another one with a coyote roller down the end. We've definitely had escape artists for sure. That border collie up front, he's done it a couple times. So yeah.
Come in the morning and they're running around free.
It's happened once or twice. Yeah, we try to be really careful about that. This is our dog prep area. Something that I really love. We have these little lockers. They each have their own locker with their walking gears in it, so volunteers can just come in.
Okay.
They already have a fitted harness, and the volunteers can just go put the harness and leash on the dog, and they know notes about them so that they can walk them successfully. And you can see as well, well, this one doesn't have it. The volunteers can write notes about how the dog's walk went so that staff can come through and get those notes for adoption profiles, or just more information for us to have as we walk them and hang out with them. So yeah, we try to keep everything as organized as possible.
It looks great.
Yeah, we use a lot of enrichment here. We have a daily enrichment schedule. It's wonderful. They get something different every week. We have like doe urine and stuff, and we'll put it on a newspaper and just give them stuff to smell. We try to make it as comfortable as a stay as possible for them. Yeah.
For people who only think shelters are a place to adopt animals, what community programs do you wish people knew more about?
Well, we of course also have awesome volunteers here as well who come in and help us with these guys. But community programs wise, we have, like I said, we have that kibble supply program. So folks who maybe donate a bag of kibble here, if we can't use it for our shelter pets, we'll put it through that kibble supply program so that folks who are struggling with feeding their pets or might just need a little bit of extra help can feed their pets. The other community programs that we have is like a community cat program, like I said. So if somebody contacts us and they're like, I got a colony of cats out here and they're just reproducing like crazy, we will help them with that. We also have our Prevent a Litter program. So, again, trying to keep those pets in their home and get everybody spayed and neutered. We have a foster program as well. So, not to just adopt, but, to help the animals by volunteering. Having pets in their homes for just a short period of time is always great. Helps us to expand the shelter, beyond the walls of the shelter. So, yeah.
So if some of our followers, if they're not in a position that they can adopt a dog or a cat or anything like that, what are some other ways that they can help out?
Yeah, we always need volunteers especially foster volunteers, always need foster volunteers. And, we work with you. You can pick what you want to foster, your time frame. Honestly, even if you can only take a dog for a weekend, that's so helpful because some of these dogs, that's just like a little vacation for them. We're super flexible on, your pets, making sure that they get along with what you guys have. Always need fosters. We also always need volunteer drivers. We have several fleet vehicles, so you use one of our vehicles, and we need help with transportation from our Taft shelter to our Westminster location, where a lot of our dogs and cats also get adopted down there. So transportation is huge. We also, go around the state and even out of state sometimes, and we work with a lot of partners to transport dogs and cats here to our shelter. So we always need volunteer drivers who are willing to do that. It's great if you like, book on tape and you just
I do.
put
I
it
love
in
driving.
and listen to your, I guess it's not a book on tape anymore, but podcast.
Audible. Or something.
yeah. And get to do that. We always need volunteers as well for, our supply drives, our kibble supply program to help hand out that food to folks. I know a lot of volunteers find that super rewarding to just be directly giving things to somebody who's in need and just needs that help. I definitely want to have you guys see our play group. I'm hoping that they're going to get started with that pretty soon here.
Sounds
I think
exciting.
that is, in my opinion, like one of the really cool things that we do here to keep our dogs' brains happy. Dogs are social creatures. They need to have time with other dogs. And a lot of these dogs who have, things like they're jumpy and mouthy and whatnot, they learn best from another dog that is, what's appropriate, what level of that. And, we think that it helps us to be able to tell, most of the people, this is a very dog-friendly town. I'd say 90% of our adopters who come through have another dog already. So, we need to know what our dogs are going to be like with another dog. And so that also really is helpful for us to be able to know that. So,
that's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll show you our outdoor kennels too. Oh my gosh, I haven't been here for like a week.
Oh wow, these are amazing.
The weeds have like, whew.
I can smell the cedar too.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Cedar, but...
So yeah, I think they're probably getting ready to do that. But you just got here.
Ooh,
Hi.
Look. It's like a German short-haired pointer.
Yeah. She's from she's a little nervous.
He's okay.
Yeah. She's from one of our partners in Texas.
You want to tell us a little bit about your partners? Who do you partner with and who you work with?
Yeah. We work with a ton of different shelters. Some of our biggest ones, definitely Austin Pets Alive out of Austin. They're great, and we've worked with them for years. We work with this awesome little shelter in Guyman, Oklahoma. We have had our staff go out there and train them on doing dog to dogs and dog meets, and so we know they send us little videos of their dogs interacting with each other and interacting with the people, and so we know exactly from that video, like, oh, this dog's gonna get adopted super quickly here. And so those are a couple of our really big partners. We also work with Rescued Pets Movement out of Houston, Texas.
Oh,
and then
wow.
of course
So
our local rescues and shelters here in state as well. So walk through here, you're welcome to either way. I'll see you some cute shots. Yeah. Cat's getting a dental.
Oh wow.
Hi.
Can you get me in next?
Yeah.
I need some dental work done.
Yeah. Trinity, our shelter medical services manager, and Dr. Gloria Aragon, who's our supervising veterinarian. Yeah. We have 4.5 veterinarians on staff. Oh yes, yeah. People could sponsor these.
I know. I've been looking at the plaques as I go by, and I'm like, these are awesome.
Yeah, we have some good ones for sure. Oh yeah, this kitty's. Thank you. Yeah. Which cat is this?
This is Fable.
Fable, getting a dental. It's a mom cat. These puppies and kittens all got spayed and neutered today.
Hi. Are you all loopy, huh? You all loopy? It's okay. I won't touch you.
Everyone got spayed and neutered today.
Yeah, I like your little.
You see, the kittens are still a little drunky, but.
Where am I? Where am I? Let me out.
Oh. I know. Hi.
Are these all in recovery?
A lot of these guys, either there's recovering from surgery, they're not quite ready for adoption. He does really poorly on the adoption floor. He does better here when he has indoor-outdoor option. Yeah, he's on adoption hold, which is great. He's a super good boy. He's a big Doberman. It's crazy. I mean, you see even purebred dogs in shelter. I mean, that dog's probably purebred Doberman. We got a Aussie here. Yeah, really great pups. So, yeah, she's sweet. I want to see if that one is here to show you guys.
Oh, look at
the
that one.
Chihuahua Malinois. I don't know if it is or not, though.
How many dogs would you say y'all have here at any given time?
I mean, usually our max is like 25, 30. It just depends on our space. They're really cute.
He's so happy.
These ones just got here,
He's
like
so
just got
happy.
here not that long ago. I haven't even seen these dogs. Yeah, that Chihuahua Malinois must not be here. Hi! Oh my goodness! So these ones are just waiting to either be spayed and neutered. They're not quite. I know they're not fixed yet, so we have to fix them before we place them up for adoption. They need their intake exams. Wow, you look so much bigger when I saw you in pictures, but you're smaller. So yeah, that'll be even easier for you to get adopted. The smaller they are, the easier they get adopted, which is, you know.
Like some sort of Aussie mix.
Yeah, for sure. I'd call her, mini Aussie mix.
You're so cute.
Yeah.
Any cuties back there?
She's
Yeah,
sweet.
you can go look.
Sorry about that one.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
He's
we're just talking.
doing little dog stuff.
Aw.
She's
Oh my
sweet.
God.
I have not met any of these guys yet, so I don't know you. I don't know.
Can I open it and pet her?
Yeah,
Are we allowed?
yeah, totally. It's fine. Have you spent time with this critter?
Yeah, it's an intriguing thing. I've never had issues with it, but I've also never extensively handled it, so
Yeah.
I am.
You get cleaned up. Come here.
It's like, oh gosh, what's going on? She had a big day.
Oh my goodness, it's okay. I know you're nervous.
She
Aw,
just
what a
got here. Was
sweetheart.
we work with Dog is my co-pilot, so they do flights out of Texas with Austin Pets Alive. So that's where she was just on a plane, just got here. So yeah.
What a sweetheart.
But I mean, like, this is, such a nice dog, and we don't usually have this kind of dog just hanging out in this community, waiting to be adopted. So that's why we transfer them. People want to adopt a dog like this,
So do you transfer dogs in as well as out?
We rarely transfer them out, but I mean, we
Okay.
transfer out here and there. Sometimes it'll be a breed-based rescue. Sometimes, for example, our Doberman friend, there's a Doberman rescue here. So we were considering transferring him to them, that kind of stuff. If they have something that we don't to offer them, basically. So, yeah.
Do you find that dogs like this get adopted more here because of it being such an active community?
I think so, yeah. And then the other part about a dog her size is she's going to be under the weight restrictions for most of apartments and stuff around here. Versus a lot of them have a 50-pound weight limit, and that dog she's I think a year old, so she's not going to get any bigger than that.
Yeah.
She's probably 35 pounds, so she's a good size, and she's probably going to be an active breed. So I imagine once she's made available, I think she still needs to be spayed. She'll probably get adopted within a week to 10 days. So
I would adopt you if I could.
yeah, she's a good girl.
All right, Maria, thanks for showing us around, and y'all have a beautiful place here, and I hope everybody enjoyed this tour. If you want to donate and you want to help them out, we're going to leave the links down in the description. Once again, thank you. It was nice meeting you.
Absolutely.
And we really appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for coming and for all you guys are doing for the sheltering world.
You're welcome. Thank you.